Hey everybody, I'm Rachel and this is John, and we are your hosts of The For Show.
The For Show is a weekly YouTube show to help you be more for the people in your life, because we believe that Jesus is for you no matter where you are in your life. Correct.
Now last week, John gave us a little bit of a challenge to make us come up with a way of being selfless in our daily life. Did you experience any of that for yourself?
Yeah, I experience selflessness a lot because my wife, Tiffany Tucker,
so true,
is a very selfless person. So much so that she is going to hate this part of the video because we are talking about her
in a positive way.
Yeah. And she's going to hate it. So sorry, Tiff.
We love you.
But you're pretty selfless, and that's what you get. But yeah, just the fact that we filmed this, little insider secret, we filmed this in our house on Sundays, and Tiffany has to take the kids out of the house so it can be nice and quiet, and she does it without any complaint, and she's for us in that way, but she's also for our girls, because usually when she takes them out, she's taking them out to do something fun. They've gone bowling, they've gone out to eat, and done all kinds of fun things.
Yeah, she's a pretty great person all around.
So much so,
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
She's pretty awesome. So yeah, this week is the last week of the series, The Best Relationships. So if you missed any of the previous weeks, we encourage you to go back and listen, because they've been pretty rewarding. So yeah, this is the last week of the Best Relationships series. So
we're gonna throw it over to Harney, but make sure you stick around because we still have some rewards, some recaps, and some reminders. See you soon.
See you soon.
See you real soon. A video. That's all, folks. I can't believe I did that so well.
I like to think that I'm a good listener, but the truth is, I just have really good hearing. And there's a huge difference, right? You know, I used to hear my parents when I was growing up say a bunch of things to me, but it never really changed me or the way that I live. To this day, I hear lots of things around me, but they don't affect my life. And many times when I'm talking with my wife or with my kids, my friends, I can hear them talking, but I'm not truly listening to what they're saying. Because if I listen, and in those times when I do listen, I understand more what's going on in their world. And many times what my wife, specifically my wife, what she needs from me, she just needs me to listen. Because a majority of the time, she isn't saying to me, hey John, I need you to fix this problem, or I need you to fix me right now. Most people aren't. I hear her talking, but when I'm not getting myself out of the way and truly listening, I don't hear what's really going on. I don't hear what's really important. And that's a problem. In fact, that's the problem. Because many times when she or someone else is talking, I'm thinking about how I'm going to reply, how I'm going to respond. Or I'm thinking, man, I can't wait for them to stop talking because this is awesome. This is something gold that I've thought of. Now, I know how ugly that is, but it's just the honest truth. And I bet there are many of you that if you were honest with yourself, that you'd find yourself right there with me. If you're not sure if this is true about you, just ask your closest friend or your boyfriend or girlfriend. Ask your spouse. They'll tell you the truth if you're willing to listen. So, how do we become people who really listen and not just a bunch of people who hear well? Well, fortunately, the scriptures contain a lot of wisdom for us. In fact, in what we Christians call the Old Testament, which is really just Jewish scriptures, we find wisdom literature written by King Solomon. Now, King Solomon, in many historical writings, was considered the wisest king of all the nations who ever lived. In fact, the Chronicles of the Kings tells us that Solomon, when he became king, was given the opportunity to have whatever he wanted from Jehovah God, and he asked for the wisdom to lead his people. He then, with that wisdom, wrote the Jewish Proverbs that contain a lot of thoughts on this idea of listening. Well, in the 18th proverb, King Solomon writes extensively on this subject, but in 3 verses, he gives us some great insight to how listening, not just hearing, could change our relationships and could help us to ultimately have the very best relationships. He says in what we call verse 13 of Proverbs 18, to answer before listening, that is folly and shame. Which, we read and we go, duh. But I know, and I've already admitted in this video, that my biggest problem is this. I'm not listening many times to understand someone, to truly understand. I'm just hearing words while I form my uneducated opinion that I'm going to deliver as soon as someone finishes talking. And as Solomon goes on, he talks about the destructive nature that this brings. He says in verse 14 that the human spirit can endure sickness, but a crushed spirit, who can bear? And I know that in times when this has been true of my relationship with Angel, my wife, I crush her spirit. She looks at me and she thinks, and sometimes she's even said to me, are you even listening to me right now? Are you even hearing what I'm saying to you? Have you ever had someone say that to you? It stings. Have you ever had to say that to someone? These things crush relationships. Relationships are crushed under the weight of not listening. And Solomon is saying here that it's worse than sickness. In fact, in our world of sickness right now, Solomon would say to us that not listening has worse effects than COVID. And he poses the question, who can bear it? Which is a rhetorical question, because the answer is no one. No one can bear the weight of that. No one can bear the destructive nature that not listening brings into a relationship. But then he gives an alternative to this in verse 15. He says, the heart of the discerning acquires knowledge, for the ears of the wise seek it out. See, the heart leads the way for the ears to be able to truly hear. And I know for me, when my heart is really for Angel, when my heart is really for my kids, when my heart is really for the person that's right in front of me, I don't struggle to listen to them. I don't struggle to truly hear what's going on in their life. And I'm moved by their story. I'm moved by their struggle. I'm moved by their life to a place of action for me. So we've talked about a lot of these things about the best relationships over the course of these last 4 weeks. But don't just hear what we've been talking about. Don't just hear be present, be kind, be selfless, but actually listen up. Listen to the people in your life. Be moved by their story. Be moved by their struggle and be for them. And let me challenge you. If you're a person who struggles to listen like me, write the word listen on your hand this week, either on the inside or the outside of your hand, whichever you can do. If you can't do that for some reason with your job, find some other way to get it in front of your face. Write this out every day. Look at this at the start of each day to inform your heart once more that you are for people in your life, especially if you're a follower of Christ. Now, if you live with or are friends with a person who struggles to truly listen, love them enough and be for them enough to have a conversation about how you felt when that's been the case, that they've not listened. This is very practical ways for us to be for people in our lives this week, and ultimately it will help us build, and maybe in some of our cases it'll help us to rebuild the very best relationships that we all so deeply desire.
Oh, well, you guys stuck around. That was really nice of you to do, because we asked you. Great listening.
Good listening.
Good listening. But I don't know about you, John. I I personally feel that listening is very different than just being present in a conversation or relationship.
Yeah, I think active listening is a very important part of any relationship. I personally try to act on what I hear. So if a friend suggests that I listen to a podcast or watch a show that I haven't watched before, I not only listen to that podcast or watch that show, I reach out to them and say, hey, I watched this show, I listened to this podcast, I really enjoyed it, and that helps keep the conversation going and helps build the relationship. Even though it may seem like something very small, it helps build that relationship even more. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's nice.
It's very, very rewarding in your relationship.
Rewarding, you
Yeah,
say?
I said rewarding.
Well, let's talk about the reward actually this week. It's from Beaver Creek Pizza Dive. I personally haven't been there yet.
I have.
Well, good for you. We all know John doesn't need to win because you've already tasted it.
It's delicious.
Basically what we're going to do is put together an at-home date night. You're going to get a little something yummy from Beaver Creek Pizza Dive. You're going to get a free movie rental, like a soft, snuggly little blanket. And I don't know about you, but I love blankets. You can't have too many.
Pizza.
In my personal, well, you can't have too much pizza either. And there might be some extra stuff in there as well, just to make it a nice little cozy little date night.
Yep, or family
Or
night.
family night.
Whichever.
I don't want to share.
But
It's
yeah,
bad enough you have to share with the other person, but add more into it.
that's very selfless.
Well, just kidding. Everyone come on over and enjoy it with us.
But yeah, Beaver Creek Pizza Dive, so good, delicious.
Yep.
So this is an easy one for you to win. Sunday afternoon, we are going to have a Facebook post for you to comment on, and every person who likes the post will be entered to win this week's prize. But you can also comment on it.
Yeah, and I think a fun way that they're doing it this time is being for someone else in your life. You can comment and tag them in it, and they will be entered in to win the prize. So I already got a couple names I feel like I might tag in there and see if they get the...
We all know someone in our life
That needs
who
pizza.
needs pizza.
Yeah. I like how we were on the same page there.
Exactly.
Woo! Pizza page.
We all know someone who needs pizza, and everyone needs a blanket,
Yeah.
especially this time of year.
Yeah.
So yeah,
But speaking of snacks and pizza, our circles have already started, and I feel like they've been off to a pretty great start. I can only speak on the women's and the couples. What about the dudes?
it's been pretty fun. Lots of conversation, and we did have some brisket, and it was really, really delicious. Just tasted so good.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's good.
welcome to Food Church.
Food church. We talk about food a lot.
So yeah, so message us at connect@bridgedayton.com if you're interested in any of our circles. And that's the women's circle, men's circle, and the couple circle.
Yep. And John talked about March Madness last week.
Yep.
Fortunately, we have an official date now of March 19th that's going to be, and I'm like 99% sure it's at the Burton's house. We don't know?
No.
We don't know.
Yeah, we should have talked about that before you.
Well, I thought that's what you said last week, John. Sorry, Burton's.
Edit. Yeah, so.
That goes to show how much I don't want to be there.
That's a little baby brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't know about that.
I
You should have
thought it
been
was.
listening.
I
Yeah.
wasn't.
That was the Super Bowl, which was
Oh, that's
long
what
time
I'm
ago.
thinking of.
Yeah.
Well, see, I don't care about that either.
so.
Sports!
But yeah,
Terrible.
March Madness, super fun, and March 19th is when that's happening.
Yeah.
But we
Fam-
also have family packs
There you go.
for everyone to sign up for. So if you sign up now, you can still be in time to get March's family packs delivered to your door in the Dayton area by a Bridge Kids leader.
It's very selfless of you guys to take time out of your days and weeks to deliver those in the cold.
Well, we had a lot of fun with our Bridge Kids, so
Yeah, they're important.
it's just our little way of being for our kids.
Yeah.
So.
Where can they find all of that information if they need it?
On the Church Center app or the website.
Yeah, the website, which is bridgedayton.com. Yeah, and that's also where you can go to do your giving, because giving is very important. It just helps us keep all the good things flowing, like this gold you see before you today. Keeps the rewards and the giveaways going, and it just helps us be for all of you peeps here in Dayton and wherever else you're from, listening and watching. We appreciate it. But if you haven't been listening, which that's embarrassing, all of this information will be in our show notes. All of the websites and apps, all of the juicy stuff.
Yep. So take time to look at those show notes and subscribe to this YouTube show. Click for the notifications, leave a comment, like the videos, share it on Facebook, all that good stuff. Keep an eye out for that giveaway on Facebook, to like it, to enter yourself, and to comment, to enter a friend. And just go be for someone in your life this week.
Do it.
Yeah. Thanks for
Thank you.
joining us.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all we have.
That's all we got.
I don't know how to
That's it.
get you to stop.
It's over.
We're just gonna.
It's over. I've been hanging around this old town for way too long. I like movies. I like snuggling.
And I'll be like,
That would be weird.
glad I didn't win.
That would be weird.